A nice story that happened at the grocery store by user Square Things. I see a lot of stories about rude people here, so let me share a nice one. I was at the grocery store looking for specifically non-ultra pasteurized heavy cream. I wanted to make English-style clotted cream for a tea party and had read that ultra-pasteurized cream doesn't work. So I was standing at the dairy case, picking up pints of cream and scrutinizing them for the words ultra-pasteurizes and inevitably putting them back because wouldn't you know it, every single brand was ultra-pasteurized. Well, this older lady comes up to me and says, "Excuse me, could you help me reach that Oleo? It's on the top shelf of the case and she can't reach it." So I go, "Sure," and grab it for her, then go back to looking at dairy. Well, then she asks me, "And while I have you, can you tell me where to find frozen chicken breasts?" I told her no, I'm a vegetarian, so I don't know where they keep meat products. She looked surprised and said, "Oh my goodness, you don't work here at all. I thought you were checking the dates on the cream." I explained my quest, she wished me luck, and went to find an actual employee. When I was leaving later, creamless, she saw me and waved, then shook a bag of frozen chicken at me while saying I found it. Nicely. Glad she got her chicken. I don't work for public storage. By user Live the League. This happened a couple of summers, but it sticks out for me. I, 50, was sitting a couple blocks away from work to just sit and decompress before I get to work. I do this because my boss doesn't like people to either arrive too early nor just sit in the parking lot for a while. I understand this, so I have what I call my hidey hole. It's a cul-de-sac with a public storage at the end. I parked across the street from the public storage. There are no houses on this road, just 2 businesses and a few tractor trailers parked. I go there and just sit and check out my email and read Facebook before I get in. On with the story. So this one summer day, I put my truck in park and got on my phone as normal. When I had pulled up, I did see another truck but didn't pay it any mind. Next thing I know, there's a knock at my window. I turn around and there's this man standing there. Him. "Do you work for public storage?" Me. "No." He goes away for a couple of minutes, but comes back. Him. "Do you work for an organization that helps people?" Me. "I'm sorry, but no, and I don't know who could help you out." Him. "Then what are you doing here?" Me. "Just relaxing before I go to work." Him. "Where do you work?" Me. "A couple of blocks away." There was no way in hell I was going to tell him where I worked. I didn't know who the fuck he was. He got back in his truck and I went into work a little earlier than I normally would have. I don't work here, but you do. By user Evilone. Short and sweet. I had just entered our local box store today when an employee walked up to me and asked me where to find something. I just stared at her for a second in confusion, and she walked away without another word. One of the many reasons I don't shop at Target. By user Grant3. Edit. I am still truncating as the days go on. Hopefully, the latest version will flow better for y'all. But it's long and I erased a bunch. Till, Dr. Teenager thinks I'm a Target employee with my brown shirt and jeans. Aims wrong and causes me to need surgery on one of my sisters. Community service included fixing the garage roof. The year is 1999 or 2000 because I'd just become an aunt for the first time. My mom has a coworker who was gifted a Mickey Mouse wind-up toy that would play sound and scroll a paper with Mickey art. The top of the paper was ripped and the coworker said, "Return it and get another one, and you can give it to your new grandbaby." The gift came in a Target bag, so we figured returning it there would yield the best results. I'm about 14 and my mom says, if I go to Target with her, the gift can be from me. I was broke and wanted to spoil my new niece, so I, of course, took her up on it. My family never shopped at Target, and I can literally count the number of times I've stepped foot in one from age 13 to 37. Target was out of the way for us. It was more expensive for our large and broke family, and the whole anti-military accusations with a retired Army dad and a massive Air Force base nearby. Let's just say I didn't know squat about the layout or the store. I go to the store wearing a light brown shirt and capri-style jeans. Mom in tow. We hit customer service. They make us go all the way to the back to toys to get a replacement. And my mom and I are back there for a while debating which version of the toy we should get, boy or girl. We were back there for a while, and we both noticed things shelved nearby. We headed back up front, and my mom finds more things along the way. She grabs a cart to do a lap and leaves me to handle the exchange on my own. I joined her at checkout when I was done. My mom always had cash, never credit cards or checks, but she also had a $10 that was hiding on her. So she gives me some stuff to run back and trade out near where we were in toys. She was a big fan of putting things back where they go on the shelf. meaning she was a big fan of making her kids run whatever it was back to its proper space. So I grabbed her crap and walked with determination back to the toys area in the back of the store. But right as I get back there, I hear someone say, "Excuse me," and being raised polite. I turn and say, "Yes." The person that stopped me looks about my age. My high school and junior high are quite big, and there are tons of people that know me, but I don't know all of them. I have memory issues, among other reasons. I thought she knew me from school and was flagging me down. Nope. The teenager asked me if I knew where to find something. I think it was the area rugs. Again, I hadn't even been in a Target before, let alone memorized the layout. If I had known, I would have straight up walked them there regardless, but I just didn't. It hadn't dawned on me yet that they thought I was an employee. My only other job had been at Lagoon, the local version of Disney, and we wore distinct uniforms. As such, I assumed all employees had their own distinct uniforms, and brown top and jeans wasn't it. The teenager asks me where to find their item again, and my brain allows me to snap out of my confusion at this point. "Oh, sorry, I'm not familiar with this store." Me, "Well, can you call someone then?" Teen confused again. "Sorry, I don't have a cell phone anymore. My minutes ran out." Me, self-paid prepaid in the 90s, fun. No, confused back and getting mad. "Woof," said the real thing. "Do you mean job?" Said the real thing. "Job, you fin job. You fin job, you fat?" Was I fat? Do. You could see this just by looking at me. But I was also semi-sheltered from the ways of the world by religious conservative parents. I knew what a chore was, but I was under the mistaken impression that people didn't say those things in polite company, especially in 99-2000. It shook me. A lady who I assume is the doll's mom comes up to her and asks her what's going on in regards to her shrieking. She's being a witch and won't take me to the rugs. I need one for my room still. Teen with full entitled foot stomping too. Dear, I don't think she works here. Might be mom. I'm trying to leave because my own mother is waiting and an employee had just come out of the rubber doors from the stock area. He had started on the whole customer service spiel, so I try to make a prompt exit. "No. Stop, you witch. You still haven't helped me." Teen. Before anyone could say anything, she tried to grab me by my shoulder, missing as I half turned back and tweaked my left nipple. Hard. My family is genetically gifted in the melon department, and despite my age, I had 2 honeydews under my shirt. I'm used to be bumped at this point. Sports, bunk bed, ladders, etc., but this was not that. The shock of her getting me where she did delayed the pain. But I knew it was going to be a thing when I saw blood seeping through my shirt from my double-layered, what do you expect for being so big-chested in 1999, old lady bra. I instinctively grab my chest, and that triggers the pain. It was not pretty. I'm loud, but my cry was next level. This is a unique pain. Not too long later, my mom also showed up to an existing and growing crowd of Missly employees due to the proximity of the rubber doors. If she had canceled her order to come find me, it was a deal. She saw me grabbing my chest and the teens screaming at her, maybe mom with a manager, or someone that looked like one, trying to get a word in edgewise. My mom assumed I was the instigator, as for one of many reasons. I was entering my rebellious phase. She starts chewing me out right up until a manager asks her if she'd like an ambulance or the cops called. I guess that snapped her out. Because who lets the antagonizer have the option of calling the cops or not? And suddenly she's back to her typical caring self. Because this post is already so long, let me give you the summary. No to cops or ambulance. I get taken to the ladies' room at the Target so my mom can inspect the damage. She deems it not worth the expense of an ambulance. But as the teen was still pitching a fit, arm out, running at the lines of shelved items and screaming just to scream, the manager called the cops anyway. Glad they did, because we would later discover that I should have gone to the hospital. 8 stitches to re-secure my areola, tack it back down, and 4 more to reattach my slightly dangling nip.
It was one of those if it's still hurting tomorrow. Here's a Band-Aid and hydrogen peroxide in the meantime.
Type deals, but I did see a doc the next day. Teen was arrested for some version of aggravated assault and battery and took a plea. 500 hours community service, 100 hours more direct service to both my family and Target, anger management. Her family pays for all the damaged products, probation until age 21, and then, assuming she doesn't screw up again, her record is expunged. Plus, my insurance back billed their insurance for the outpatient surgery to fix my chest, which we wouldn't have thought to get without a police report. There's tons more, so let me know if you care. I did find out she won in my yearbook, so likely not a student at my school. 2 high schools in my city, plus the one on base. Also, my dad put the team to work replacing the roof on our detached garage. I'm the parent, and you get benefits from having a leak-proof garage where I store all my hoarding and none of the kids have a keepies.
I would have made her clean my room and do my chores for a month. But hey, I was 14.
How unobservant can you be?
My user, truly fake username.
There's a local warehouse food store that has a primary clientele of restaurants and professional kitchens, although they also sell to the public. I was there because I'd heard they had a specific type of cheese available nowhere else. Sadly, they didn't, but I was wandering through their truly gigantic walk-in refrigerator, wearing full motorcycle gear and carrying my helmet. To fully set the scene, I put my moto gloves back on because it was cold inside walk-in freezer. So imagine a fully geared rider, high-vis jacket, gloves, overpants, moto boots, carrying a helmet. I couldn't have looked less like an employee if I'd tried. And then it happened. Do you work here? Glancing down at my gear, I just looked at them oddly and said no. Later, I told the story to actual employees at the service counter, and they got a good laugh too.